How's it, Nathan?
No worries.
Good evening, Rob. Firstly, Rob, I'll start lightly. Quinn Mapaka got 4 wickets on
No,
debut.
rather start heavy. Let's finish
We
light.
spoke about Quinn Mapaka got 4 wickets on debut. How crazy is it that he's still young enough to still play in Coqueek? They're literally playing down the road.
I think the Lions side want him back. Do they make the finals for tomorrow? Yeah. But no, look, it's awesome. I mean, it's very exciting to think about what lies ahead for Quena. Yeah, just to see him out there today, he really sort of thrives and flourishes in those moments, and he'll keep getting better and better. Just to see the kind of skills that he threw at the back end, back of the hand, slower balls, which he hadn't bowled in the game to that point, and to then figure out that that's maybe the option and to just back himself to go for it. I think it's very exciting. So we want to just keep allowing him the space to grow and the space to flourish, understanding that performances may be inconsistent, but his growth is more important, and the long-term picture of him being a match winner for South Africa.
We're going to go Khalid, and we'll look to do follow-ups once everyone's had a go. Khalid, go
So,
ahead.
Rob, I just want to know from you, what did you learn from this squad and this team now through this ODI series? Have you learned anything new about them that will take you forward and prepare you better for the Champions Trophy and to be ready there?
You're referring to our squad, yeah? You're referring to the Protea squad, yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, we're forever learning, and we're forever trying to figure out where the edge is that we can gain. A lot of it starts actually just executing our best skill first before we think about what we might develop or grow in our games. So today we were a little bit off from a skill execution point of view, sort of uncharacteristic in the field as well for us. So those are things that we can certainly take control of quite quickly. And then it's just each individual, just having a chat to the guys in the change room now. There's a lot of guys already thinking about areas that they could have done better today, little skill sets that they might develop, playing the same opposition and presenting the same sort of challenges. So, I think everyone is aware of little small parts of the game that they need to get better at, but not forgetting the strengths that we have as a team as well.
Keenan?
Hi, Rob. Just in terms of the team chopping and changing game after game, obviously a lot of it wasn't in your control today. Just how tough is it to manage that from game to game? Obviously, you struggle a bit in bilateral series. The challenge with that.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this series, we've had to change at the 11th hour, really, so that does cause some disruptions. And yeah, I mean, injuries happen. We've got quite a number of them at this moment in time, which is obviously challenging us, but it's a good challenge to have. I think you come out on the other side stronger because you've given some guys opportunity, and of course losing games is never cool, and you don't enjoy it. But at the same time, guys have had opportunity to play. Consistency and having consistency of selection, obviously that is always ideal, but we're not living in the ideal world in T20 cricket, in short format cricket, based on the different masters that we're trying to serve at any one time. And also we want the guys that come into the game to step up, and we want our senior players to step up as well. And we can't keep using different players as an excuse to not perform well, But like I said in the T20s, and I believe that for 50 overs as well, the losses will turn into wins. We will have a stronger group of players that we can use moving forward, and the end goal is a few years down the line that we're building towards. So we keep on the process there.
So here?
Rob, a couple of weeks ago, after the India T20I series, you spoke about the collective needing to be better, starting from you all the way down. If you look at tonight's performance in every aspect, was that possibly one of the, I don't put this, non-better performances?
What's non-better? Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about all aspects, bowling, fielding, batting.
Yeah, I suppose if you're looking at all three formats, sort of in isolation, it wasn't good. I mean, let's be honest. I think the cool part, and then also the disappointing part, is that in the same game you have shining moments. Classy guys only bats like that. It shows you that the pitch, there's nothing wrong with the pitch. It shows that even against a reverse swinging ball, you can bat, and I expect others to be of his standard because they are, and they've shown us in the past to be that. So you have this moment, you have an individual performer showing you that, as a unit, we could actually have chased 330. But then on the bowling front, the same applies. They shouldn't have got to 330 because we let ourselves down in the field. And then from a bowling point of view, we had nice phases where we created pressure and then released the pressure. You know what I mean? So throughout, there's stuff to look back on and be excited about, but also equally so disappointed about. So.
Okay, I know Zahir's a follow-up to this, so we'll go Zahir, then to Nathan.
Just on that, you say there are individuals who show that you can do it, and does that not make it more frustrating that the others are not on the mark?
No, it's just frustrating, not more frustrating or less frustrating. It's, cricket is a team game, so you need to collectively get the job done, and unfortunately we just haven't operated as a collective this evening, and so that's disappointing. Simple.
Rob, we've had a chat about certain things for breakfast at Pearl Valley. But
we didn't have breakfast. You just came afterwards.
But again, I have to ask the question: it must be disappointing losing another home series.
Yeah, I guess I just answered it. How can it be anything other than disappointing? Little moments to get excited about, but losing a series, I can't be happy about it, and it's certainly not something to be excited about. Can be excited about little individual pieces of brilliance, but as a team we weren't up to the mark, and as I keep saying, I'm head coach of the team, so I've got to accept responsibility of the side, and because we have lost a series, it's disappointing. Yeah, I'm not sure what else.
Nazri?
Rob, you speak about small details that not going in your favor. I'm just thinking today, Temba won the toss and he elected to bowl first. Just what was the thinking behind that? Because Newlands is traditionally a bat first and then defend in the evening.
Yeah, to be honest, that sort of trend, specifically with the T20s, seems to be changing a fair bit. I don't think that the pitch played any worse, to be honest. I think it was still a good wicket. There was a part of it that we felt we might be able to put their batting under pressure, batting first. Historically, they've enjoyed chasing, so they like to know what's in front of them. And so we felt if we could create some pressure on them batting first, that it might create some bad decisions and potentially an erode in terms of their batting lineup. And then from our batting point of view, the local knowledge has told us that actually conditions get better under lights. It actually comes on a little bit better, and that there's actually a better chance of chasing. So factoring all those things into consideration, for me, that the toss made sense.
Rob, just how do you go into Sunday's game now? How do you get the players motivated? Is the 2-0 loss as it is enough, or will you look to use those little good moments as a reference point?
I think first and foremostly, you're dealing with a very proud bunch of cricketers. We certainly had really wanted to level the series up and take it to Pink Day on Sunday. That has not happened. You'll have a bunch of guys who are very disappointed with that. Most importantly, disappointed in the way we've performed as a team. Some individuals will be disappointed with the way that they've performed. And most of the time, that's enough for these guys to get up and really want to play better. So I don't think there's going to need any motivation from my side for Sunday's game. And then within that is just acknowledging the little areas that we did well, that we want to do well again, and sort of our consistency in certain areas has let us down. Today we didn't manage the death very well with the ball. In the T20 series against India, that was actually one of our strengths. So we need to continually improve our consistency when it comes to little moments in the game.
We are going to take the last questions now. Keenan?
Rob, it's obviously not been a good series, but has this sort of opened your eyes as to what exactly your squad might look like for the Champions Trophy, given that you only have the tri-series to play before then, that this is the second last series before then? Do you have an idea of what your team is going to look like at that point?
Yeah, our team hasn't and doesn't need to change a hell of a lot. Obviously, we've had to change because of injuries, really. So there's some guys that are not playing at the moment that you would factor into that squad for the Champions Trophy, along with the guys that have played here. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's still a large proportion of the squad that genuinely picks itself if you're playing well. And then there's a few guys who are now starting to stake a claim to supersede those guys who we would think normally would be there, and that's exactly how it should be. We need to have pressure on whoever we see to be the first choice squad, because the more pressure on them, the better our cricket will be.
Cool. So here to wrap.
Rob, across the white ball formats, you look at the T20s and the one days, batting seems to be a core problem for you at the moment, and it's the same guys in the test side who are scoring hundreds. What's the difference that they do it there and they come here, and obviously different format, but just, is it a mindset, is it a game situation, what's the situation around that, and are you planning to replace the batting coach anytime soon?
So let me yes, we are. Is not having a batting coach currently, what sits behind it? No, I don't think so. Of course, we want as much IP in the change room that we can possibly get to assist our players and give them the support that they need to be the best that they can be. So we're always on that path and we'll always stay on that path. That's the $1 million question, transferring from one format to the other can be hard. A guy like Davey Miller, for me, came in and he played beautifully in the T20s, then picked up an injury, and then he sits out for 3 games and comes back in. You would have loved for him to have had a series of 5 knocks where he could just build on that knock that he played in Durban. That hasn't happened, So little things that have happened along the way that have sort of got in the way of that. So Temba, so he's missing out in game 1 and come back game 2. So, yeah, I know one reason for it, and I think still trust in the quality of the players. I know they'll come good. And build on their confidence, and once that starts happening, we'll find some momentum.
Just one last one, Nathan, then we do have to wrap.
You said that you want to have the players or batters to have momentum playing. You want the batters to have momentum, but you said you obviously want to build depth, which means that you'll be swapping and changing. Won't that contradict what you're saying, based on talking about building momentum with those players?
Well, you're kind of trying to do both, Nathan. You're trying to create momentum, but you also have to at some point make a decision to give other guys opportunity, right? So Dave missed out through injury, not through non-selection or rotation or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it is ultimately the balance that you're looking for. It's that finding a space to give guys a consecutive run, but also finding space to give opportunities to guys who need it.
Great. On that note, that concludes the press conference. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.